Okay, so let's talk about trig. This first portion should be review from what you did in IM2. Okay, so let's start with um, this thing called what you probably learned already called SOHCAHTOA. Okay, let me start here. Copy that, paste it there, and let me create a right triangle. Okay. So let's pretend this is let's pretend this green dot is our starting point. Okay, let's pretend that's our starting point. I want to talk about, I don't even want you paying attention to this right here. Okay, I just want to talk about three very basic terms called hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Okay, hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Okay, now hypotenuse is always going to be, okay, always, it's going to be the side that the right angle is pointing to. Always. That's guaranteed. Okay, hypotenuse is always going to be, okay, the side that the right angle is pointing to, or the longest side. Okay, hypotenuse is always going to be the longest side, or the side that the corner is pointing to, that right angle. Okay, adjacent. Okay, I'm going to side hustle this. Adjacent. Adjacent, it basically means next to. Okay, next to. So all right. So what side is next to angle A, the green dot? Okay. What side is next to angle A, the green dot? Okay. Angle A. You can say 10 is next to the green dot. You can say 8 is next to the green dot. However, it cannot be 10 because 10 is already the hypotenuse. So 8 must be your adjacent. Okay. Opposite just basically means across. Okay, across. You can think of across. So what's across from the green dot? Okay, what's across from the green dot? The answer is 6. Okay, so this is going to be opposite. Remember, our green dot is the starting point.
So are we always going to have that? So like, to find the hypotenuse would be easy because it's the one that the right angle is pointing to, but will it always say like sine of angle A? So you always have that green dot to start at?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
It will always give you that green dot. Without the green dot, you cannot do the problem. That's a really good question, Dylan. Okay? So folks, so now I'm going to switch up the green dot. Now that Dylan brought that up, okay, I'm actually going to switch up the green dot. Okay, let me get my keyboard over here. Uh-oh, where is my little plug-in thing? Oh, it's already plugged in. Perfect. Okay, I'm actually going to copy the same triangle here. Boom. Here we go. All right, and I'm going to put the green dot right there. Okay, and let's go again. 6, 6, 10, and 8. Okay, and now hypotenuse doesn't change. Okay, because hypotenuse is always going to be the side across that the right angle is pointing to. Okay. 8 is going to be, in this case now, what is adjacent? What is right next to the green dot? It's 10 or 6. Okay. But it can't be 10 because we already determined 10 to be the hypotenuse. Okay. So it must be 6, which is adjacent. Okay. And 8 is across. Opposite means across. 8 is across from the green, which means opposite. Okay. All right. Okay, once you, believe it or not, once you know that, okay, once you know that, once you set this up, everything else is super easy. Okay, so now let's talk about, okay, let's go ahead and talk about this blue box now. Okay, let's talk about sine of angle A. Cosine of angle A. Tangent of angle A. Cosecant of angle A. Secant of angle A, and cotangent of angle A. Okay? All right. So since angle A, since we're talking about sine of angle A, all of these are angle A, we're talking about this triangle right over here in yellow. Okay? So we're using this triangle right here. Okay? Now, this is very easy. We're just going to put in numbers that we see over here. Okay? This is what I mean. Okay? Let me put this in green. Okay? Angle A, sine of angle A is opposite over hypotenuse. We determine opposite to be 6. Okay? We already determined opposite to be 6. So I'm going to put in 6 right here. All right? We determine, and on the bottom is hypotenuse, and we determine hypotenuse is 10. So there you go. Okay. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. We agreed that adjacent is 8 and hypotenuse is 10. So I'm going to put 8 over 10. Okay. Okay. Tangent of A, that's opposite over adjacent, which is 6 over 8. Okay. Cosecant of A is hypotenuse over opposite. Okay, hypotenuse is 10, opposite is 6. Okay. Secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. And cotangent is adjacent over opposite. Okay, which is 8 over 6. Okay. I want to write the fractions all in the same way using the diagonal line. Okay, we said this is 6 over 10. This is 8 over 10. And this is 6 over 8. Okay, and let's just reduce this. 3 over 5, 4 over 5, 3 over 4, 5 over 3, 5 over 4, and 4 over 3. I just reduced it. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the same thing here, but let's go with angle B instead, angle C, sorry. Okay, angle C. So now we are going to be using this triangle right here. Okay, and use the same and do the same exact thing. Okay, sine over here is opposite over hypotenuse, so I'm going to go opposite over hypotenuse, which is 8 over 10. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 6 over 10. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, which is 8 over 6. Cosecant is going to be hypotenuse over opposite, which is 10 over 8. Okay. Secant is going to be hypotenuse over adjacent, which is 10 over 6. Cotangent is adjacent over opposite, which is 6 over 8. And this equals to 4 over 5, 3 over 5, 4 over 3, 5 over 4, 5 over 3, and 3 over 4. Okay? Pretty straightforward stuff in my book. And again, this is review that you did from IM2. Okay? I want you guys to do the following problems.